So BTC pushing into a trend at the moment on a Sunday. Can we trust this current move? Well, that's going to be interesting because I've got some interesting data here for you guys telling us that BTC could potentially be hitting 70K in the next few weeks. So we got a lot to watch and a lot to talk about today. Then I've got updates on ETH. I've got updates on the LIDO situation as well. We're talking KAS. What tokens are we going to buy on KAS? And then I've got trade updates for you on SOL. I've got updates for you on Ondo. I've got FTM potentially breaking a trend as well. So there's a lot happening here on Sunday. Let's get right into this. And don't forget, if you are enjoying the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. Now, you often see me on a Sunday on the main channel. Now I'm on Banter Plus today. I'm jumping around a little bit, but remember, Monday to Friday, I am on Banter Plus every day, 5:30 SAST. Now, stick around today because I'm also doing a giveaway for Sniper Club towards the end of the show. And I also have a special guest here from 𝗂𝗟𝗟𝗏. So there's a lot happening today. So stick around. We're going to get through a ton of things. Banter Bubbles. Look, weekend vibes. Okay, so we don't want to get too excited when we see this type of green, and I've just seen Bitcoin sort of floating away from that CME close on Friday, so that is a little bit of an interesting situation we got going on, but nonetheless we see some layer ones performing here. Phantom 3 near 3%, looking good. ENS, nice little mover there as well. And then Ondo bouncing off a 786 and a trend. I'm going to talk to you guys about that potential situation as well. Let's get into BTC. What are they doing to us? What are these guys giving us on a Sunday? And right now you can see BTC is pushing into a major downtrend at the moment. This is our daily downtrend that we're actually watching, and things are looking a little bit bullish, a little bit interesting here on a Sunday night. But the question is, can we trust this move? So I would say we really need to blow through this trend here, grab some support at around about the 62,100 level, and then potentially send that higher. So the real test, if we blow this trend, is going to be confirmation of support round about the 62K level. But now, what am I watching if they are going to reject us, if they are going to send us back down to these lows? What are we looking at? Well, we've got a CME level just above this this region here at 59,850. So 59,850 is my big level that I'm watching. This is my major bull support level, and then I've got a CME level just slightly higher than this region. So anywhere in this zone for me is a potential target for these guys in the next, say, 24 hours if we do get some kind of rejection. And then lower down, a big level that I'm paying attention to here, 58,300. Why is this interesting? It's the previous low, and we've also got the 200-day MA pushing up here for us. So that is looking nice and spicy. This looks like a potential bounce zone. 𝗤𝗏𝗄 wants to know, where's my white cap? White caps are reserved for when we ultimately bullish. And right now, this is a Sunday. So 𝗤𝗏𝗄, when we blow that trend, then we can start getting a little bit more interested in how these things are going to play out. So that is what I'm doing now. That is what I'm watching. So BTC, we got to blow this trend. You know, this is a major resistance area here for us, and a rejection. Look, we're going to feel a little bit of pain on some of these altcoins if we do get this rejection. So we're going to get more into that just now. We're going to get deeper into that. But look how things have changed so quickly. So the fear and greed index that I'm watching at the moment, we see right now we're sitting at neutral territory, 47%, and oh, excuse me, yesterday we were sitting at 30. So, you know, weekend vibes, we're getting a bit of a move. Confidence is coming back. And, you know, we've moved up 17 points here on the fear and greed index. But the real test for me is how this thing is going to play out now Monday, Tuesday. So just very interesting. And then we saw Hardy. Now he's reposted a tweet and a chart that I have spoken about previously last week. We actually looked at this one, but it's about buying the lows on the fear and greed index. And just a reminder, you're seeing this chart now floating around all over Twitter at the moment. But there's multiple examples here when the fear and greed index has hit 30, 41, 33, 37. These often mark lows of potential moves when we have seen this happening. So, you know, a good indication again, as if we don't have enough signals at the moment telling us that the potential short-term bottom is in, and they just keep throwing us or throwing these types of things at us. Then Julio got another one for us. He's telling us minor capitulation has reached levels comparable to December 22. Okay, is this now a potential short-term bottom just based on this type of information? And then what am I looking at this week? So obviously a lot of market movers this week. It is quite a big week out there, and key events from the 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗔𝗍𝗔𝗟 letter. They've given us the ISM manufacturing PMI data that's coming out. We got Powell talking on Tuesday. We got jobs data Tuesday. Lots of market movers here, and I see the stock market is actually closed on Thursday, so that'll be an interesting day watching crypto. You know, can we trust any moves on a day like that when the S&P is closed? And then June jobs report data on Friday. So there's a lot happening here this week, a lot of potential things happening in the market. And the S&P, well, you know, we had a bit of a mixed play on Friday. This thing started looking really bullish, and then they closed it pretty low. So this is the S&P on the daily, and looks like it's just turned over after that all-time high. It looks like the sellers jumped in there and really started pushing that over. But what has caught my attention this week, and I don't bring this stuff up enough, but look at this Amazon chart. And for those stock traders out there and those interested in S&P stocks and things like that, well, Amazon has just blown a daily level here, and we've had a breakout. So potential trade coming on Amazon. For those of you that want to trade some Amazon things, we could get a little move here into a nice little support band on Amazon. So right now, I'm watching Amazon at around about 190. There's a potential play here for the stock traders. So 190 is a kind of support retest that I'm looking for on Amazon. So those of you interested in some stocks, there's a potential move here. Nice to see a breakout on Amazon. Nice to see strength in a lot of these tech stocks, and that often can lead into some crypto moves. So, you know, are these things tying in nicely together now? Are we going to get a nice little push on the crypto side? I think we are due. I think the time is right. Who is in the chat here today? I see Maestro DeFi. He's talking about charts looking similar to Mulo. CryptoPunk is here, and he's been holding Amazon since 90. Well, this guy is cooking, and now we've got a breakout. I mean, maybe you can even add to that potential position. Relaxation Music Certified is looking for INJ. I've got INJ for you guys. Money Print is looking for the juice, and that is all happening here. So good to have you guys here on a Sunday. Always nice doing a couple of charts here with you guys on a Sunday. One more thing I've got here is this liquidation map that I'm watching very closely, and they've really packed these little clusters so nicely. So this is all the exchanges. This is mixed liquidations, longs and short on the daily that I'm watching, and this is always a nice little guide to see sort of short-term moves. And right now you can see nice little clusters here. Anything down to about 60K is looking quite interesting here. Looks like a little bit of fun to the downside could be had here, and then upside there's a nice little target here, 63K, and then a little bit higher we can push round about 64K. So a very interesting little chart here. And if we tie that in to BTC and we look at this upside, here's this upside level, the 64K. Wouldn't that be nice if we got a little trend break there and they sent us straight to that 64K region, just rinse some of those bears out? And then the real fun is obviously going to be the retest. You know, is that retest going to hold? Because if we pop 64K, we're going to be breaking this major daily level on BTC that we've been watching for so long. So this is BTC on the daily. We've got our descending trend. We know this is a bearish situation, and things are looking bearish until we start blowing this major trend. So I'm just tracking this on the daily, and we've seen many times now, we've had so many pumps into resistance, rejection, into resistance, rejection. Is this going to happen again? Are we going to get another rejection lower down? So I'm keen to see what you guys are thinking, and I have dropped a poll in the chats there. I'm looking for information. Are we going to see 70K in July, or are we going to send it a little bit lower down first? Let me know what you guys are thinking there at the moment. And for me, this daily downtrend, when we start popping this, we can obviously turn way more bullish and get way more excited. But this thing's got a lot of work to do at the moment. So watching this trend closely on the daily, and who knows, if we start breaking this, the apes are going to jump in, and things are going to get very interesting here, because this liquidation map on the 30-day is also looking pretty interesting to me. Look at this. These shorts are still far outweighing some of these longs, and we've got targets here on the 30-day up to about 68K. So things are definitely leaning in the bulls' favor at the moment, but work to do. We've got a trend to break. Now, I mentioned earlier on the show, just when I was looking at those 4-hour levels, This is the CME chart, and this is where the CME closed on Friday, 60,400. Now, we don't like to run away too far from that CME because we know it's often a bit of a magnet. They like to bring BTC back down to close that gap. So 6,400 is an interesting gap there on the CME chart. So pay attention to that and look out. Any downside, that 60,400 down to that 59,850 could be a beautiful target there if they do want to have a quick little flush out and send us a little bit lower. Then the most important chart that I've got for you guys, this is my empirical data. This is my absolute factual proof that BTC could potentially go to 70K in July. And it's just a simple tweet and a chart here from Ali Charts. And he's telling us when Bitcoin has had a negative June, okay, historically, it tends to bounce back strongly in July. Okay, BTC has shown an average return of about 8% and a median return of 9.6% during July every time that we have had a negative June. So currently, if you look at the previous dates, 2022, we were negative 37%, we pumped 16%. 2021, negative 6%, we pumped 18%. 2020, negative 3%, we pumped 24%. 2018, negative 14, we pumped 20%. So here we are, we negative 9.8 for June so far. Let's see where this candle is going to close. Obviously, that could push a little bit higher at the moment, but the signs are there. Negative June often results, or every time, results in a positive July. Now, is this time different or not? So, for me, we've got enough signs out there that local bottom was in, just for, even on the short term, that bottom was in for us. Now we've got a bit of data here telling us that things could potentially be moving a little bit higher. And I've also got a little guest here in the back that I'm going to bring on just now, but you guys never seen this man. You've never seen this man's face. And he's going to come on and talk to you guys about 𝗂𝗟𝗟𝗚. And he's going to tell us what he's seeing at the moment, where he thinks the market is going to be heading in the next couple of weeks. So they've got something called a pivot party coming on. And we'll go through. We'll find out what a pivot party is. But that is apparently happening later tonight. So there's big things happening there on
But how about the likes? How about the likes?
Pivot
party. How about the
likes?
Right? Yeah, pivot party with some likes.
Go to the pivot party. There's a lot happening here today. Okay, number one, there's a pivot party that we're going to tell you about that's happening later. Number two, I'm doing a special offer here for you guys on the Sniper Club. There's going to be 2 free months on offer. There's going to be a few other discounted months on offer, but it's only going to be limited to the fastest fingers. Okay, so there's a little bit of a process what needs to happen. And then obviously, if you're enjoying the content, you know what to do. Listen to Uncle Ray. And right, let's look at dominance here on the 12-hour. And again, just playing the game. It's listening to these levels so perfectly at the moment. And just a reminder, dominance pumping, not great. Dominance dumping, much better for the altcoins. This is specifically if you're wearing an altcoin trader's hat like I do. So always nice to see little rejections in dominance. And that tells us we're getting a little bit of a softer period for the altcoins. So we've already seen this major dominance move here on the 12-hour. That gave us that initial boost on some of the alts. Then we've seen dominance pump, hurt the alts a little bit. And now we've seen dominance moving up today with some BTC strength. So that's not too bad. But what I like to see here is dominance pushing lower now at a typical rejection area here for us. And this could potentially unlock some of the altcoins. So keep your eyes on dominance here. This is dominance on the 12-hour. And again, just reacting in a typical reaction zone. It's the 100-day moving average. It's the horizontals tied in here. And looking for a nice push down here on some of these altcoins maybe gives us a nice little move in the next, say, 12 hours. We get a nice little push on some of these alts. So keeping my eye on dominance at the moment. And it's a massive week. An absolutely massive week for altcoins. I mean, it's a massive week for the crypto market in general, but let's not forget, 2nd to the 4th of July, we know the ETH ETF is coming live. Is this going to be a massive sell the news event? Are they going to pump this thing? And, it remains to be seen. But right now, this is ETH BTC on the monthly, and still this candle on the monthly is looking bullish. As long as we can hold this candle up here and start closing above this trend, I think this could be a nice little bullish sign here for altcoins in general, but obviously the big daddy, the ETH bros that are still dreaming of an ETH pump to 5K. So ETH BTC still looking very good here. We saw on Friday this candle was actually turning green, so there has been a little bit of weakness now, but we just want to get this push higher. We want this candle to close nice bullish push here up. And, the apes are going to come back. We know the guys are going to come in and start pumping this thing if we do get a clean break. And what am I tying that into? Well, this is ETH on the 8 hour. And you can see we still, just like BTC, we're stuck in our downtrend at the moment. And ETH has got a lot of work to do. But it is promising at the moment that ETH has broken the 100-day MA once again. So supports that I'm going to be watching here for today, 3,390. That's a nice little support marker that you can watch. It's the 100-day moving average. You can see the nice little reactions we have on this 100-day MA. So definitely plays its role on the ETH chart. So 3,390 I'm watching. And then if we do get some kind of sell-off here on BTC and they want to chase that CME gap, maybe they want to send it a little bit lower, I'm looking at about 3,330, give or take, as my next potential stop. Now, if things turn terribly bearish, then we're going back to 3,250. Don't really feel like going there today, but let's mark that on our charts. It is there. It's a level that we need to pay attention to. And just for some bull source again, if we do blow this trend, we know the guys are going to step in. We know these altcoin traders are going to come. They're going to come with their leverage. They're going to start pushing this thing as hard as they can. So watching ETH very closely here for a breakout, and watch out at 3,500. Don't forget, we've got our 50-day moving average, 3,500, a little bit of action there. If we do get a push here, going to be some kind of fight, going to be some kind of reaction in that area. So we're going to watch that one closely. Now, let's see where the bulls are. Let's take a look at this poll. A 70% bulls, right? 70% bulls out there, and they're loving BTC to.
They should be bullish as support. Why are we not bullish as support
yet? Are we bullish on Celestia yet? Just asking for a friend. Okay, let's get into the next banger here. Well, this was a reverse banger for me because I was sitting in a LIDO position and I was loving life. And I'm sure some of you guys were trading LIDO as well. And we saw this came out randomly on, when was this? On Friday. They came out with this news. You might have noticed the reverse guard candle on LIDO. They basically sent us to hell in one candle. And basically, the SEC claimed that LIDO and rocket pool staking programs are securities. And that obviously caused a massive shakeout in the market. So I got stopped out of that LIDO position that I'd been sitting in for so long. And here we are once again. So number one, another lesson. Okay, another key learning here. Sitting on a trade for too long. What happens? The SEC comes and ruins my day, and they send LIDO back to hell. And now I'm watching LIDO just float around the 786 currently. So now we got to wait for this FUD to sort of wear off, and then the bulls are going to come back on LIDO. So if you were trading LIDO, things were looking pretty good. They were looking relatively bullish here. We had a nice little trend break, and we had a nice little consolidation outside this trend, and things looked like they were teeing up for a little bit more action. And then that news came out, and they sent it down. But a typical target hit, a typical dump target hit here on these altcoins, and that was that 786 fib. So very interesting to see LIDO floating around here. If you are still sitting in a LIDO position, this is now going to be your low market. This has got to be your support level that you want to pay attention to. So 1.87 has got to be your level. 1.87, look for any pullbacks into that region. Then we can maybe start climbing a little bit higher. But for me, I'm sitting out of LIDO until we start breaking this trend and this 50-day MA. I want to see it clear that region there for me. When we start blowing through that, I'm going to start looking at LIDO again. And who knows? A little bit of ETH strength this week, and LIDO and ENS and all these other ETH players could really start pushing hard. So let's not take LIDO off our radar. Just keep it on there, because if we do get some ETH strength, we know LIDO is going to get bought up quite quickly again, and the bulls will be back. They got short-term memory here, and a little bit of FUD, a little sell-off, flush out some leverage, and then the bulls jump back relatively quickly. So watching LIDO very closely there. And yes, just a reminder, I'm doing a little giveaway here on Sniper Club. So you can follow the Sniper Club, Real Sniper Club, on Twitter. Now, there's a couple of imposters floating around, so make sure you are following the correct one. So this one is at Real Sniper Club. At Real Sniper Club. Don't follow the incorrect ones. There are a few imposters floating around. So make sure you are following Sniper Club, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do in the next few minutes. So we're going to deal with that now. Let's see who else is sitting here in the chats. I see there's lots of chats coming through here. And guys, if we got some time here, I want to cover some of your charts. I mean, Kush, bro, come on. How's that ADA long? It's not great, bro. It's not my best. And so we We traded ADA on Friday, and look, it hasn't been the best. It hasn't been the best mover, but we can deal with some ADA. We'll deal with it. What else we got? Abdul says he likes my cap. 𝗬𝗓𝗓𝗓, who's asking about Celestia and CryptoPunk. Yes, I've got Render for you. I've got a little AI update. I've got AI Tech and Render loaded up for you guys. But firstly, let's talk Solana. So Sol hit bang into my entry zone. So I gave you guys that pullback zone that I was watching for Solana last week, and we had it locked on. We were looking at 140 to 138 as a potential reaction zone. So after that Sol news, we got that Sol ETF news, nice big pump out of Sol, and then typical sell-off after this type of news. And we were saying if the bulls were going to step in on Solana, there had to be a play at about 140 to 138. And they dipped us down here this weekend, but bang into our entry zone here, little horizontals in play, and nice little 382. So hopefully some of you guys did grab a Sol entry there. And now we're going to watch how this starts playing out. So what am I looking for now on Sol? I want to see it hold 140. I don't really want to dip back too deep. I don't really want to go and fill that wick again. So 140 is what I'm watching closely. And for me, it's these horizontals that are tied in so nicely here and this 382. So 140 for me is support on Sol. And here's the current situation. So I got that entry and that I was waiting for, and I traded this one on CoinCatch. And remember, we spoke about this last week. They are running a ridiculous offer for you guys at the moment. This is a KYC-friendly exchange, CoinCatch, and they are giving away, let me just open the screen for you. They are giving away $20 to the first 20 people that sign up on CoinCatch. Okay, and then there are other sorts of things that they're giving away. There's extra, if you're trading, they're giving away extra $50. Then they're giving away all sorts of prizes. They've even thrown in a golf set at the bottom there. So if you want to have a crack here, the first 20 of you that sign up now to CoinCatch, you're going to get $20 there for signing up. So take part. There is a link in the description for you. And then you guys will notice I am still sitting here in a Doge short. So this was a head short that I took last week on Doge, and Doge was looking pretty bearish. It's sitting under major weekly support or major weekly resistance. It's sitting under 200-day moving average, and that was a hedge play for me on Doge. So if this does dip a little bit lower, then at least we have some cover there. So right now I'm long Solana here, and I'm still short Doge from last week and ticking over. So guys, remember, go to the link in the description here. And it is second from the top. You'll find that CoinCatch link. It's exclusive to the show for you guys. Right. Let's get into some of this stuff, because today, originally my show was going to be about KAS and the whole situation, and we saw KAS pumping, and then we had lastminute.com here. Apparently the launch failed. Now, if there's any fundamental guys out there, let us know in the chat your thoughts on the current situation, but apparently it was like a hot air balloon with the air getting let out, and I saw 𝗦𝗡𝗜𝗡𝗧 posted a nice little video of the actual KAS launch today, and this was quite an interesting look. And I said, what happened? It's going well. It's going well. Charts ticking up. Charts ticking up. We're going long. We're going long. We're going long. Yeah. I think the launch failed. Failed launch for KAS. 𝗦𝗡𝗧𝗧 couldn't have got it any better than how he tweeted this one today. Loving that. So yeah, that's pretty much how the KAS traders were looking. And I was sitting in a beautiful KAS long, and they've come back and they've sent us back. So we're going to look at that KAS long as well that I'm running. At one point, we saw that KAS flipped 𝗵𝗵𝗘. So that is an interesting one for us as well. And now remember, it's just a little bit of FUD on KAS. So some of the researchers I've spoken to, Chaos from Sniper Club, for example, super bullish on the situation. I think it's just a minor little blip, and it might have been just a way to flush out a little bit of leverage there. So we're going to look at this KAS chart shortly. But here's Crypto Doc just giving you guys some plays for KAS. So now that we've got KRC20 active and running, there's a couple of tokens that you guys can dig around and go and mint. You can get involved in your own KAS tokens. So basically what you can do is you can get the KAS wallet. It's called 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and you can go mint these tokens. Now you can, number one, you can go figure it out how to mint these tokens, or number two, you can join Sniper Club with the biggest CAS, like the CAS bag holder, and the biggest CAS fan or fanatic out there. He's going to show you guys how to make money using this entire CAS ecosystem. So Chaos is in the Sniper Club, ready and waiting for you guys. If you want to join Sniper Club, he's going to tell you. He's our airdrop king. He's our CAS king. He's going to tell you exactly how you can get some of these tokens on the CAS network. And let's have a look at this chart. Now, look, no surprises here. We had a beautiful pump here on the daily, and the FUD came out, and typically they sold that FUD. And the interesting thing for me here is CAS pinged this 382 fib perfectly. So we had a nice little pump. Look at that, 382 fib comes into play and ping in the zone there, and CAS is now still looking good. So if you are trading CAS, or if you were trading CAS, and you want to know the current situation, are you still in CAS?
I'm taking it up and down.
Are you still long?
Okay. I'm long.
I'll show you my CAS trade. It was looking good, and then it was looking less good. But now I see it is pumping a little bit. So 0.174. This is your big support marker now, CAS traders. And looks like we've got an all-time high in play here now on CAS. So that is a great start. KRC20 launching. Now remember, these guys need CAS to mint these tokens.
Bullhorn.
Let's go. So these guys need CAS. They're using CAS. They're putting CAS in their wallets. They're buying CAS, and you need CAS to mint these tokens. So it would make sense that there is a little bit of a CAS pump while this situation carries on moving. So here's my current CAS situation here, and I'm trading this one on WeX. And here's CAS. I opened it earlier and was feeling very proud of myself. This thing was ripping. And then checked a little bit later when I saw the FUD that the launch had failed. And I almost did a round trip. But luckily, we can just zoom in, watch our 382, look for our big supports. And you can see that CAS held that support really nicely. And right now, looks like it's trying to climb its way back up. So I'm trading CAS on WeX. Now remember, this is another KYC-friendly exchange that I'm using, and they've got a secret sauce here for you guys. Other than a 20% sign-up bonus, if you are trading on WeX, you automatically qualifying for their token airdrop. Now they're launching their own token, and there's going to be a whole lot of things happening on the WeX exchange. It's not just for trading, and with that comes a token. So you're going to get an airdrop of the token just for trading on WeX. So take a look. There is a link in the description for them as well, and take part in that, and you can get stuck into it. Now, I've got a special guest here, and funnily enough, our special guest is from 𝗔𝗍𝗟𝗔𝗟. So you guys know Seth, but we've got another guy. He's the, well, we'll get his name. He's the power friend, but he's going to tell us exactly what he does with 𝗔𝗍𝗟𝗟. And you guys can follow 𝗔𝗍𝗟𝗟 here on Twitter, and there is also a link in the description for you. We're going to tell you exactly what's going on. But today, he was telling me, funnily enough, about CAS. And I thought, well, let's get him on here. Let's talk about the CAS chart and see what 𝗔𝗍𝗟𝗟𝗟 is telling us with regards to CAS. And then he's hopefully going to give us some kind of update as to what is happening this week. So here is Power Friend. And hello. Welcome. You sitting in Canada?
I am. Happy Canada Day to my fellow Canadians.
There you go. Happy Canada Day.
it's our annual weekend to drink beer and hang out at the beach. But nice. with everything going on this week and our pivot party, I figured I'd do my best to get online and stick around and stare at some charts.
So this pivot party sounds very interesting. It sounds like a party we need to go to. But tell me. Okay, so before you tell me about what you're seeing this week, what was interesting to you about the current CAS situation? What caught your attention there?
Well, for those that aren't aware of what Trendex does and what 𝗔𝗍𝗟𝗟𝗟 does, we're able to get this information a week in advance, a month in advance in some cases, which is why the pivot parties are important. Early this week, we had our pivot party last Sunday. CAS was identified being above the weekly pivot. As soon as it broke through mid-afternoon on Monday, we would have entered that trade right there, and it hit every point that it would require to do so. Previous week high into the resistance one, and just today it perfectly hit resistance 2. Sorry, resistance 3. 30% move, which we would have called on Monday for all of our traders that got involved in that.
Isn't this ridiculous? How it times into that resistance band as the FUD comes up. I mean,
perfect. Yes. Sometimes we wonder, news, no news, FUD, technology breaks, whatever. We knew that this was going to happen on Sunday. That's
way
ahead of it.
Ridiculous. Okay, so 𝗔𝗍𝗟𝗟𝗟 traders, they jumped in earlier this week, and they would have caught that CAS long. So that was in your Discord, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
You guys you're running a whole community in there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have well over 1,000 members. We do live trainings Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then we do community chats for about 2-3 hours after each live training hosted by myself. Everybody gets involved. No question too silly. Whether we're talking markets, the tech, the tokens, the current pivots, or the following Sunday's pivot party, which is tonight.
And you guys do smart money concepts, is that correct?
Smart money concepts in addition to the pivots. So there's two key indicators in the entire system, Trendex being the simplified version for those that are just new into trading and want to get the basics of understanding it, finding support and resistance levels, understanding compression in the market. And then we have Indicator X, which is based on the smart money concepts, understanding the master patterns, understanding compression, expansion and contraction zones. Various lessons there's two camps. We've got the Trendex camps and we've got the Indicator X camps, depending on the level of experience you have in trading.
Okay, nice. And there's a question here. How do I get Easy Algo again? There's a link in the description. It's that simple. So jump into the show link here. Let's just show you guys where it is. And we've got it here ready for you guys. So it's third from the top. And there's a 3-day free trial for Easy Algo, or alternatively, the other way you can do it is you can be in Sniper Club and Easy Algo. They're not dropping obviously all the alpha, but they're dropping a couple of things. If you want to learn about Easy Algo, that's your first step. If you're already in Sniper Club or you're in Sniper Club, or alternatively, click on that link. There's a free trial for you guys. And look, there's a lot of information that comes out with Easy Algo. And sometimes, there's tons of info and you think, geez, there's a lot of material here. But there is a way to keep things super simple. And Power Friend over here is in the Discord, and he'll explain it to you guys as well if you want to jump in there. So yeah, quite a simple process.
I'll be here all day, preparing for the event. As I got on my screen here, the weekly narrow pivot party. We do this every week, but 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I guess it'd be 11:30 p.m. UTC. This week is super special, being that it is the last day of the month. The first day of the week is next week. Daily candle close, our pivots come out every time. So we're getting all 3 pivots for tomorrow. Monday is going to be crazy for trading. We're going to get the daily narrow pivots. We're going to get the monthly narrow pivots. We're going to get the weekly narrow pivots all spit out to us inside of our scanner bot right here in the Discord. You're simply going to be able to download, take this text document, import it into your trading view, and all of the pivots, everything that's going to be happening, we'll all list for you right here. In addition to that, which I wanted to show you, you were asking about BTC earlier, what's going on for this week. By the looks of it, we're starting underneath the weekly pivot or underneath the monthly pivot, but we're going to be starting above the weekly pivot. Yeah, we have the ability to tell the future. Before the pivots actually come out tonight, I can take a look at next week's pivot, and we're already looking bullish for it right here. Is it giving you a guide here?
Is it giving you a guide as to what next week's pivot's going to be?
It is doing pre-math. So as long as the asset doesn't drastically change below the previous day high, this is going to be what the pivot is going to be within reason. Coming up into the EMA right now and being above the weekly pivot, this is looking really bullish for us as far as being able to break through that monthly pivot for next week.
So, I mean, again, like we've covered, there's so many signals and so many signs out there at the moment that we could be even getting a short-term move to the upside on BTC. And, confirmation again from this chart I just showed you, showing 70K as a potential target. And now we see we are pushing above the weekly pivot. So potentially a bullish week coming for crypto.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to hold thumbs to that. So if you want more of Power Friend, grab the link in the description. He's in the Discord running things, and Seth is also around there. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome. Remember, you get a 3-day free trial if you join today. That's going to get you into the weekly pivot party tonight. You can join us in the Discord. You get the information. Tomorrow, we've got a live training at 11. Tuesday, we got a live training at 11. 3 solid days to be able to get you to understand how simple the markets can be using Trendex and get you some good trades coming off this trifecta party we've got tonight.
Sounds like a party. Okay, thanks for hanging. You guys know what to do. Okay, pivot party. If you like pivot parties, you know what to do. There's a link in the description there for you. Okay, so Cass, you know the drill. You got your support. Let's just look at some targets here. Now, I mean, Cass is obviously looking bullish. There's tons of good news coming out for Cass at the moment. Where can this thing potentially go? So you just want to do the very simple thing here. You want to pull a fib from your previous high to your low, and then you want to pull out the 1.618 fib and the 2.618, and that often gives you a little bit of a target. So potential targets here for Cass, if this thing remains bullish, we're looking at the 0.24 level. So there is potentially quite a lot still to come here. And let's just see the size of this move from that 382. So potentially another 38%. Now, it doesn't always mean it happens in a straight line. You could easily see a situation like that before they send it higher, but still gives us a nice little target to play with. This is KAS on the daily. It could take, some time to play out, but nice little guide there for us for KAS. And yes, okay, so KAS is looking good. And now let's get into a couple of updates here. I wanted to update some charts for you. Number one, I thought let's do 2 AI tokens. And the first one I've got here for you guys is Render. This is Render on the daily, and still waiting for our Render action. So things have been pretty sad for AI in general, other than Fetch and Ocean, who are merging into that ASI token. But Render's been relatively quiet. But what I do like right now for Render is we have confirmed support here on the 618 fib. So this is 7.14. So Render on the daily, 7.14. Looks like a nice little support region, and at least a starting support region for you to play with. 7.14. And ideally, you want to hold this. Low. So if you are trading Render, you're just looking for something like that. If we do get a little bit of weakness tonight, which I actually expect some kind of little pullback here tonight. It is a Sunday after all. We don't like to see these pumps, too big on a Sunday. It sometimes they send us a little bit lower down. So look out for some kind of pullback there on Render. I'm watching 7.14 for me, and then lower down the absolute lows that we can target here. 6.7 down to 6.6 for me are our next sort of big zones here for Render. But good start, a little 618 bounce, nice little start there. And I see Smitty is looking for Phantom. I've got Phantom locked and loaded for you guys, and we've got a nice big trend on Phantom that we're going to be watching. So there's going to be tons. A lot of altcoins that you are trading at the moment are going to have similar setups to what you're going to see here today. And whatever the fuck what says, gaming will come back. Wait for it. I agree. 100%. We looked at gaming tokens on Friday. Those things are so heavily oversold. PYR, Nakamoto Games, Beam, tons of them, and sitting in such good DCA zones. So, never too late. Remember, when a narrative changes, it changes all of a sudden, very quickly. And then you suddenly miss 20-30% pumps on a lot of these tokens. So what you can do is always zoom out, look on weeklies, look on monthly charts, and that's telling us these things have sold off so much. They're sitting at massive areas, and nothing wrong with a little bit of DCA on some of those gaming tokens. Okay, AI Tech, another good one that I've been watching, and we've partnered with AI Tech, and there's a couple of couple of pointers here from them. So they're just giving their token utilities. Why do you want to own the AI Tech token? Well, number one, they've got launch participation, so you can participate in launches on their AI Tech pad. Number two, access services on the AI Tech AI and GPU marketplace. There's staking rewards as well, and there's DAO governance. So there's a lot of utilities here for this AI Tech token. And, just because it's come off the highs doesn't mean there's not more pumpage in this thing later. We saw 𝗏𝗔𝗟, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, that type of thing also was banging 600. Now we're pushing 200. So there's been a market round sell-off on a lot of these AI tokens, but the best are going to survive. And ideally, you want to be buying the strongest ones on good support. So AI Tech, no changes to when we started speaking about this one. We are still hovering around our nice big weekly support band. So right now, 0.11 for me on AI Tech, still a great DCA zone. And remember, these narratives, when they do come back, AI will fly, gaming will fly, RWAs, they already are flying. Don't forget DeFi, that is going to be kicking off again soon. So just watch these things on good zones, watch them on weeklies. And when you see opportunities like this on good areas, these are DCA zones for you any day of the week. And here's an update on Ondo for you guys. So we had a 786 and trend ping. So I was looking at Ondo earlier this week. I was looking for a reaction here at the 618 and the 50-day moving average. So what did these guys actually do? They gave us a tiny little reaction here, and then they sent us under the 50-day MA and the 618, and then they rejected us from that region. So look, we know, number one, it's a strong reaction zone. We had an original bounce on it. When we lost it, we came back and retested it, and they rejected off that major area. So what is interesting to me now is we've got a nice bounce off a rising trend here. We've got a nice bounce off a 786 tied in with some horizontals here on Ondo. And now we have broken back through our 50-day moving average. So I really like the look of this situation here. Any weakness here for Ondo for me down into that region, round about 1.14, anywhere in that region, 1.12 to 1.14. Little pullback here for Ondo could be for buying here. If we get that opportunity, say, on a market pullback when Asia opens later on, 1.14 down to 1.12 could be your nice little add on there for Ondo. And then you're just looking for that ride back to the highs. We want to test anything around about 1.28 to 1.3. So I'm just going to do a little block here for you guys. So nothing too big, nothing too serious. We're looking just for a push back into those range highs. If we start breaking those areas and things like that, we'll deal with it when we need to. But we don't need to look too far ahead right now. We just want to take out some of these highs here, 1.28. So key support for me, 1.14 to 1.12. Those are the numbers that I'll be watching. We're also sitting here in the chats. Let's see. I see John is talking about big time. Look, these gaming tokens, they're all going to come. They're all going to be coming back. I see Glenn Goldberg is back in the chat. Glenn, do you still want to get 59,850 retested? I know last week you were talking about that one as a big level for you. And he says, where are the salties today? Guys, remember, it's part of crypto. Classic crypto moves. Now, I want to do a Sniper Club giveaway, but you guys need fastest fingers here. I need fastest fingers. So get ready. Okay, go to WAP. Okay, here it is. WAP Marketplace. Go there now. You got 3 seconds to go to WAP. I'm going to tell you exactly what you guys are going to get here. Okay, so I've got 3 promo codes for you guys for Sniper Club. Okay, one of them is going to give 2 free months away. Okay, what's our likeage here, Ray? Do we have the right likeage?
It's smoked up. It's not enough.
Okay, guys,
it's not impressive.
Hit the like. I'm dropping you free shit here. Okay, the next promo code is going to give you a 50% discount. Okay, off the first month. The next promo code is going to give you a 30% discount off your first month. Okay, it's limited to 20 people. So I'm going to drop the first promo code in the chats here right now. This is going to be for the free month. Okay, so fastest fingers first. Here we go. I'm typing this in here right now.
But the likes aren't high enough. What about the likes?
What do you want me to do, Raymond? What do you want me to do?
You need to smash the like. You need to tell them to smash the like.
Guys, come on. I mean, I'm about to give you free stuff. I mean,
what I'm saying.
Come on. Okay. Thank you, Ray. Okay. I'm assuming they are listening to us. Okay, so the first promo code is coming in now. Okay, here it is. Okay, are you ready? This is for a free month. Oh, the suspense is killing me. There it is. Okay, bang. There's your code. Okay, there's your promo code. Sniper free. Okay, then the next one. Here comes the next one. Okay, this is going to get you a 50% off. Okay, here's your next one. Okay, and then here comes your next one. Okay, but it's fastest fingers, guys. Here's the next one. Okay, there we go. Now, Ray, I hope they're satisfied. Wait, let's do this.
Treat the like button like Mike.
You didn't give them enough time to smash the like first. You need to give them a little bit of time to smash the like.
People, come hang out with us at Sniper Club. Hang out with me and hang out with the Sniper Club team. We're all there. Okay, here is Injective.
I actually might come too. Let's go.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Ray. Use the promo code, bro. Okay, here is Injective on the daily, and lots of questions about this all the time. I mean, this is something we need to be watching. So Injective, just a recap, where are we at the moment? So nice little move back into our previous support. So you can see here, we've broken back, we've retested now as well. So Injective traders, 22 down to 22.4, down to about 22. For me, nice little hot zone that you want to watch here. Ideally, if we get a little bit of weakness here, we want to hold that level. Okay, that's first prize. But if the market's going to remain bullish, I expect Injective to hold the 618 at 21.3. So I'd expect it to hold that region. So if we do get weakness now into the Asia Open later today, we've seen Power Friend telling us, easy algo, BTC is pushing above that weekly pivot. Now remember, it can come back and test the middle of the pivot. It can test the lows of the pivot. As long as it's in that pivot and holding that level, it could remain bullish. But that could be a nice little pullback on BTC. And that is going to pull these alts a little bit lower down. So if you're looking for an entry on Injective, 22.4, a little bit lower down, 21.3. Both of these are potential entry zones for you for the next move on Injective, which could potentially take you right to these range highs. So you're looking at a potential 37% play here on Injective. Now remember, if BTC breaks that trend, the apes are going to come. The guys are going to be buying, and these alts are going to start absolutely ripping. So you want to make sure you get some nice little pullback areas. So Injective, 22.4, 21.3. These are my hot zones. These are my entry zones for the bulls. If the market's remaining bullish, those are the entries. Those are the levels that you are looking at some Injective, and then a nice little target here for you at around about 30 to 31. Looks pretty interesting. Okay, here is Ondo. Did we deal with Ondo? Why do I think we've dealt with Ondo? Raymond, did I deal with Ondo? Yes, I dealt with Ondo. Okay. Ondo has been dealt with. Okay, next one. Here's a potential trend break coming on Phantom. And look, trend break traders, this could be something of interest for you. This is Phantom on the 8 hour. And right now, it's starting to gear up. And we're looking at a couple of things in the way of Phantom. And you'll see I've got 3 moving averages here. And I wanted to highlight these for you guys because these are potential targets now. If Phantom starts blowing this trend, these are going to be our targets in the next week or 3 if the market remains bullish. So upside targets for Phantom, it's got to be around about 62. Next one's got to be around about 71. And higher up, we're looking at about 75. So these are 3 potential targets just using moving averages. And we know that Phantom and all these altcoins, they love reacting on these type of MAs. So watching now closely, Phantom, we want to see a nice clean trend break, that retest for me. Hopefully tomorrow, if we do get that break, that retest for me is going to be the buy that we are looking for. So number one, let's just be patient here. If you're buying Phantom here, you are buying Phantom into a trend resistance. You are buying Phantom into horizontal resistance. So your risk is obviously pretty high if you are getting involved now. What you want to see is a nice little clean break of this trend. And then that retest is going to be something of interest for us. So right now you can see we are pushing into a little horizontal band here on Phantom. And when we start breaking this little region here, then we can start getting a little bit more interested. So when we do pop the zone, we want to see the bull step in here, a little retest, bang, you're probably going to find a 382 or 618 in that region. Once we've got that break, we can measure the high, and then we'll get our guideline. But right now, let's blow through 56 on Phantom first. Let's crack that level, and then things could get interesting. So AVAX, we've seen running nicely already. What else did we see? Solana move nicely, and potential Phantom, a little bit of a lagger, but potential mover here. It was a little bit sad last week. You can see we had a massive pullback here on Phantom, and maybe now it's time for this thing to turn a little bit bullish for us. Now, there's a couple of charts here for you guys. CryptoPunk wants 𝗬𝗢, and Neil was asking for AVAX. So let's smash AVAX and 𝗬𝗢 quickly. Okay, let's see where we are. So fresh chart here, AVAX. Let's look at AVAX on the daily. And you can see a lot of these tokens, we've lost these big moving averages here. Things are looking a little bit sad from that perspective. And I've highlighted this all week here on a lot of these tokens, Link included. Bearish little setups here, bearish head and shoulders and things like that playing out. And ideally, you just want to figure out where these levels are. This is a big weekly level now on AVAX. And if we do start pushing higher, well, what you're going to be watching is a move into this weekly, and that could offer a potential rejection here. But remember, if we blow this major weekly level and we hold this as support, that is going to be a free ticket to some big targets on AVAX. So right now, if you are sitting in AVAX positions, any moves into 30 to 31, looking like resistance zones, looking like resistance bands here. This is a weekly level as well. You can look at these weeklies, and we know these weekly levels are strong, and this sat as a weekly support for many months. This was a weekly support from earlier in the year, and you can see we've lost that eventually. Now we're coming back to retest. So just exercise a little bit of caution here until we break back into that weekly level. Now remember, this bearish head and shoulders setup that you can see on a lot of these tokens could still be playing out, and they could offer quite lower levels. So we got to treat these things very cautiously, and if we break through the weekly, then we can start becoming more bullish again. But until we blow something like 30, 31, we need to be just a little bit careful, especially on the higher time frame. And obviously scalpers, that's a slightly different situation for you guys, and there's much shorter term trades there on the 15 minutes and things like that. Let's look at 𝗬𝗢. Oh, Sui seems to have found a little bit of a base here. Okay, let's see. We're going to just bang out some fibs here. We just want to see these levels. Okay, what I'm looking for here, I want to see a tie in with a 786 or a 618, bang. Okay, that looks pretty good. So little reaction here, weekly pullback on Sui and landed on a nice hot zone. So what did it hit? It pinged the 786 for us, and it pinged some nice horizontals. You'll find that that is a weekly level as well. And so Sui, big support here, down to 0.754. So 0.754, Sui, that is your level. That is your support marker. If you're remaining bullish here on Sui, this is a potential trade for you. If you believe BTC is going to hold any pullbacks here, if you believe BTC is going to 70K in July, okay, based on all the information that you have, Sui's along from here. Okay, Sui's at least at the bare minimum, it's a spot buy. Alternatively, it's a margin, potential margin position here for you guys. And you're going to use your support level, 0.7543. So what happens if Sui melts down and starts closing under this region, say on the daily chart, then we could see a situation where this thing is heading a little bit lower. But if you're comfortable that July's data is telling us over the years, BTC is going to 70, a lot of these alts right now off these major support levels are going to start moving up with the market. And then we're going to find if these alts start popping off, we're going to have some kind of, like a popcorn effect. And these things are going to start blowing off individually at random times. But Sui for me, 0.754, loving that area as major support. Okay, guys, that's it. I've got a Sniper Club live session now. All the Sniper Club members will see you in about 30 minutes time. We're going to do a session with DJ and David. We're going to tee up the week. And obviously, if there's any trade setups right now, we'll be taking them with you guys. Other than that, guys, you got your levels. You know what we're watching on BTC. Let's see how that pivot party goes this week as well. And that could be interesting. So I'll report back to you guys as to where these easy algo pivots are tomorrow on Monday, and we can use them with some of our TA. So we'll catch you guys later. Have a good week.